wow, it is freezing. So take 2 on my travels. Hopefully this time I do make it to Africa. And I'm traveling to Tunisia. I was meant to be traveling last month actually. I was meant to be traveling to Dakar, Senegal, then after that to Gambia. But as you saw, like on the previous video that I posted, there was a bomb scare at the airport and I completely missed my flight, so I had to reschedule everything. I thought to myself, you know what, going to Senegal and Gambia was a bit too extreme. I thought this time let me just take it easy, considering it's coming up to Christmas. Christmas is in like 24 days, something like that. So I just thought, take it smooth. But yeah, now I'm just waiting for my train to head over to London, because I'm staying just outside London at the moment. So once I get into London, I have to get a coach to Heathrow Airport. And yeah, right now it's around 10:40, and I'm waiting for my train, and my flight is going to be tomorrow at 7:20, and I will get to the airport around 2:30, something like that. So all I know is just going to be a long waiting around. Like once I get to the coach station, I'll probably get the coach station around 12:30, something like that, at midnight, just 30 minutes past midnight. So I'll have to wait a few hours at the coach station, and as you can see outside, it is freezing, it is cold. I don't know what the degrees is, it's probably like 2 or 3, something like that, but yeah, it's freezing, and my train is being delayed as well. But hopefully this is like the worst of the journey. After that, everything's just gonna go smooth. So yeah, today we're going to Tunisia, and can't wait to be posting this again and just showing my travels and what I get up to. Yeah, so let's go. Another thing as well, in the UK, like mask requirement, it wasn't mandatory. Oh, that's my train right there. Let's go. Victoria coach station is as soon as you get out the main train station, it doesn't tell you like exactly where the train station coach station is, so you kind of have to find it yourself or use Google Map or even ask people. But the station is just down there, and I'm heading back on the opposite side. So yeah, it's like a little 10-minute walk to the coach station, but it's so confusing if you don't know how to get there. You probably think it's just in the same place. As soon as you get to the train station, you're going to be there, but that is definitely not the case. Finally here in Heathrow. It is cold outside, like really freezing. This here must be the earliest I ever arrived at the airport. I actually came here around 2:30 in the morning, and my check-in time was around 4:30, so I had 2 hours to just sit and wait. Now I have another 3 hours until the flight takes off around 7:30. Right now it's around 4:30. So yeah, 5 hours at the airport just waiting around for the flight. But I don't know, I guess it's better than being early then compared to being late. But yeah, everything completely smooth, check-in smooth. So they had, before I was able to check in, I had to give them my PCR, my vaccine certificate that I've been fully vaccinated, and my passport. Yeah, if you don't have any of those threes, you can't get in, especially like the PCR, because you need it. And the vaccine, if you don't have the vaccine, like when you get to Tunisia, you need to do a 5-day quarantine at a hotel. So yeah, it's so complicated, like traveling in 2021. Like it's just, there's so many requirements, there's so many things to do. It's just, I don't even know if it's worth it, to tell the truth. But yeah, now I'm in Heathrow Airport, just waiting to go to Rome. It's gonna be a long journey until 5 o'clock, like until 12 hours. I won't be sleeping for another 12 hours. So yeah, let's go.
I hop out the car, leave the motor running. Why you always talking like you know something? Why you always talking, going show 'em something? No stunt double, I do my own stunt. Could take a year, I'll still have that paper coming. Put like 10 on the 90, I keep it so on it. All in the club, we don't do no clubbing. Throw like 10 on the 90, I keep it so on it. Orange label, I might pop me too. I was getting money, but they didn't have a clue. Caught the Porsche coming powder blue. Hit the top, we don't need the roof. Fools know we made the rules. I'm with the club, posted by the marina. Eating fruits, looking at views that you never could dream of. Getting served all this paper, I'm not talking subpoena. Gotta flow like a river, but you won't find one that's cleaner. No stunt double, I do my own tricks. I got hits on hits, this like my backflip. Mind on my money, low when my palm itch. Took the slow lane cruising, now look we all rich. I hop out the car, leave the motor running. Why you always talking like you know something? Why you always talking, going show 'em something? No stunt double, I do my own stunt. Could take a year, I'll still have that paper coming. Put like 10 on the 90, I keep it so on it. All could never take a hand out. New cars, bigger house, everything was planned out. 2020 hindsight, noticing how I panned out. Never did too much, never wanted to stand out. Spent plenty, in my 20s, no place empty. God sent me, keep it thorough, this not trendy. Don't tempt me, on the edge and I'm sick. See them stealing my moves, hear them jacking my lyrics. But Chris can never dance like Mike, and Floyd can never hit like Tyson. I am who I am, never tripping, I just stick to the plan. And if I trip, it's to a beach, I put my toes in the sand, silly.
So we have now landed here in Roma. I have a few hours wait until my next flight. So we arrived here around 10:30 in the morning, and my next flight is around 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So it's just gonna be a long day of waiting around. But the weather here in Rome is actually pretty decent. Like, it's not gloomy or anything like that. The sun is pretty much out. So I imagine in Tunisia, like, it's gonna be pretty hot over there as well. And Air Italia, this is actually the first time flying inside the airline. I only know about the airline because I think Etihad or Emirates, one of those two airlines bought it. And I know that they were like in big debt. There was so many issues going on with it. That's the only reason I knew about it. But yeah, the plane I was on, let's just say, it needs a bit of revamp. You can tell like it's an aging plane because everything was just shaking. The lights kept turning on and off. Yeah, and what's that thing called? The overhead, I don't know, cabinet. One of them wouldn't close, and a few of them like they were all dirty inside. But the service in the plane was pretty decent though. They gave us a few snacks and coffee and water. So the service was decent, it wasn't too bad. And the journey flew by for me anyway. Yes, because as soon as I got on, like, I just closed my eyes because I don't know, like the pressure in the plane, it was just too much, like the air pressure. Yeah, it was just too much. I felt like my eardrums about to burst or something. I didn't know what to do with it. But yeah, we see how the next one is. Hopefully it's a bit newer, a bit fresher than the one I was just on. So let's just wait a few more hours, then Tunisia.
The highs with the lows. That's like these days. World chained up, he on lockdown. Phone call 3 ways. I just pray that he find God now. It's no replay. On my way up to the top now. That's on me, ayy. The highs with the lows. That's like these days.
Grazie per l'ascolto e la pazienza, cercheremo di recuperare qualcosina lungo la rotta. Dopo. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain speaking, just inform that now the last reset will be okay, so we maintain this aircraft and in a few minutes we'll move from parking area. Our flight time today will be 58 minutes. The weather on the route is good, destination especially cloudy. The ground temperature 10 degrees centigrade and the forecast condition gives rain. And inform you that we could miss some turbulence or any sand during the approach. Thank you for listening and other information on the route.
That's like these days. World chained up, he on lockdown. Phone call 3 ways. I just pray that he find God now. It's no replay. On my way up to the top now. That's on me, ayy. Any day could've been dead. High school price on my head. Paranoid lying in my bed. Pray to God they don't turn my shirt J-red. I was lost, didn't know me. Had to do myself the codeine. 6 months was a dope fiend. Philly didn't even know things. There was a low me. Swear to God it would've owed me. Everything you ever told me. Everything you ever showed me. I forgot it. Caused me drama. I used to stay on one. Now I change on them. The highs with the lows. That's life these days. Bro chained up, he on lockdown. Phone call 3 ways. I just pray that he find God now. It's no replay. On my way up to the top now. That's on me, ayy. Get the highs with the lows. That's like these days. Bro chained up, he on lockdown. Phone call 3 ways. I just pray that he find God now. It's no replay. On my way up to the top now. That's on me, ayy. I just saw Jizzy got a plane. Guess that's what he meant when he said nothing was the same. Lately I've been grounded, energizing off the pain. Some things gon' change, I'm just soaking up the game. Through the mud, out the rain, like I remember all those same nights. Now I'm on top, no stage fright. Now I'm on go, no brake lights. Hit the pedal, hit the engine roar. No fear like a matador. Breaking trends and I'm making more. Going up, climbing ladders more. I can't be stopped. Now I do what I want. Real, no front. All the way to the top. Highs with the lows. That's like these days. World chained up, he on lockdown. Phone call 3 ways. I just pray that he find God now. It's no replay. On my way up to the top now. That's on me, ayy. In the highs with the lows. That's like these days. World chained up, he on lockdown. Phone call 3 ways. I just pray that he find God now. It's no replay. On my way up to the top now. That's on me, ayy.
I've only now just gone to my Airbnb, and this is like a house, like a massive house, a 1-bedroom house I should say, but normally I'm just staying like in a studio apartment, and the price I'm paying for this is unreal, so cheap. I only booked it like 3 hours ago, but I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. I feel like I should just end the video now, as I've only just now got into my Airbnb. It's been like a long journey, but I guess this is what I signed up for. Yeah, I was literally dozing asleep like when I was back in Rome inside the airport. Yeah, it seems like the time was just dragging, and yeah, it was a crazy adventurous plane ride I should say, because what happened inside the second plane leg, it was insane. Like everyone boarded, everyone was already in the plane, ready to go. Then an announcement came through that the plane is not starting up. I've never seen this before. Like Air Italia, how could the plane not start up? Like then after there was an announcement where they said the plane is not working or it's not starting. They might need to change planes, like get everyone off the plane, then after switch planes so we can get on another plane. I was just thinking to myself like, why? Because that's probably going to take another hour or so. But yeah, lucky enough there was a couple of engineers that came inside the plane, and they were able to fix whatever was wrong with it. We waited around, I think around like 20 minutes or something like that. Yeah, 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And they were just going back and forth talking to each other. Then after that the plane was fixed. It was a bit rocky, especially when we took off. If you close your eyes, you feel like the plane is going down. I don't know what that motion is called, but yeah, every time I was closing my eyes I just felt the plane was going down. I was just like, wake up, don't fall asleep. Yeah, so it's quite nerve-wracking. And the funny thing is, like the first plane ride, I was like, this plane needs a bit of, what did I say? Yeah, I forgot what I said, but it needs a bit of tune up. And the second plane, it was actually much better than the first one, and that was the one that actually needed the maintenance done to it. So I don't know how old these planes are that Air Italia has, but a lot of them looked pretty like old, like they've been used quite a lot, like they have mileage on them, and the seats was like really tiny. Lucky enough that on my row, both times I had no one sitting on my row, so if I did have people sitting on my row, like, I would have been cramped, my knees would have been hurting right now, but lucky that wasn't the case. But yeah, enough of that. In Tunisia, and before coming to Tunisia, a lot of people were saying the custom in Tunisia is they're really hard, they're really strict. Like if they find you with a drone in your bag, they might put you in an interrogation room and ask you who you are, what you're doing and stuff like that. But when I came here, it was none of that. The thing is that, because I think they speak French here, but a lot of them were speaking English as well. But if you just say, I don't know, bonsoir, something like that to them, like they will start talking to you. And yeah, and the guy, the custom, he just took my passport and he looked at me, told me to take off my mask, stamped, and off I went. And yeah, that's about it. Like they hardly even checked. Like they did check their PCRs and vaccine certificates and stuff like that, but it wasn't really a check like a thorough check. Because before coming in, like again, people were saying that the PCR test needs to have their QR code on it, because a lot of people been making fake ones. I'm joking, but a lot of people are making fake ones, and yeah, it needs to have the QR code on it so they can scan it just to verify that it's legit. But yeah, none of that happened, and everyone just let through, and very simple. And when it comes to SIM card, there was actually 3 SIM companies that I could have chose from. There was one local one and another one started with I don't know, can't remember what it's called. I hardly ever, it doesn't exist back in the UK. But the one I went for was just Orange, because I just thought Orange is just like, I don't know, like known, I suppose. And they gave me 75 GB and I only paid, yeah, like 70 dirham, like, which is around £3, something like that, £3.15. So imagine that for a SIM card and the data 75. I don't know if it's actually 75 GB data, but we'll find out. But if it is, that is a lot of data for that price as well. So after getting the data, well, before that, money exchange, I exchanged $100 and they gave me 2,300 dirham, something like that, 2,000. I actually got it here. So yeah, all of this, though there's actually more, but because I had to buy the SIM card and pay my taxi as well. But yeah, all of this for like $100. So after getting my money exchange, getting my SIM card, I went to order a taxi. As you come out of the airport anyway, there'll be people coming up to you asking if you want a taxi and trying to persuade you to go with them and stuff like that. But I know here Uber doesn't work in Tunisia. The only app that works is Bolt. Yeah, Bolt, that's the one that works. But you can't pay, because in the UK Bolt, it works as well, but you can pay with your card. So you just order it, and after the money comes out, your card, there's no cash in hand. But here it's already cash in hand, so make sure you have cash if you're using Bolt. And I ordered a Bolt, and from the airport to the place I'm staying in La Mazia, which is like 25 minutes away from the airport, and it only cost me like 17 dirham. I don't know how much that is in pound, but I think it should be like less than £2. But I ended up giving the guy like 20 dirham, yeah, because the guy, he was waiting for me for quite a while, like, because he couldn't drive inside the airport. He had to wait for me outside. And when I went outside the airport as well, there's a bunch of people looking for those cheaper taxi options outside the airport, and some lady almost jumped inside my taxi. She thought it was just a random guy just trying to pick people up from the airport. But yeah, after the 20 minutes drive, got to my Airbnb, and my Airbnb, I actually booked it like 2 hours ago. Because now traveling during the pandemic, you literally don't know what's going to happen. It's pretty much just living in the unknown. That's what I keep saying that, because you might go somewhere and they might say, oh, you have whatever you have is not valid, or you're missing something, or you don't have this, or your flight is cancelled, or I don't know, just whatever. So now I just feel to myself that I only book my accommodations once I arrive at my destination. I know everything's legit, everything's sorted. Then after, I'll book everything. So that's what I've done today. But yeah, I'm staying in a really nice apartment as well, like in a nice area in La Mazia. So I'll be here for 3 days. Today's Friday, so Sunday it'll be my last day. So yeah, 2 nights, 3 days, something like that. So yeah, but tomorrow's video, or in 2 days, I'll show you the Airbnb and show you the area that I'm living in as well. Like, the area seems really chilled. So yeah, thank you for being in this journey with me. Feels good to be back. As I can say, it feels good, because when I was in Nepal, it was like a routine. You're here, you're there, you're going here, you're packing your bags, you're carrying everything. So now you're just getting back used to it and carrying cameras and making sure I'm capturing the right things at the right time and stuff like that. So yeah, just adjusting to it all, getting used to it all. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little video. Imagine I started not even in London, I started near Cambridge, so far, 5 hours, like from where I started. Not even 5 hours, probably longer than that. But yeah, I'm waffling, I'm mumbling. But yeah, thank you again, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a good night from me here in Tunisia, La Masia. Bye bye.